Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Ron, and we've got a big update that we're pushing out today. So here's a quick video to show you most of the changes. Just a couple things. The last couple weeks, you'll see we're making tons of changes in the system, and we haven't finished everything that we've done at this point. There's still some bugs out there. There's still some parts of the features that we're tweaking the interface on and need to implement. But there's enough changes that we wanted to go ahead and let you get kind of a preview look at it, and also so that you can go ahead and start sending us some of your thoughts about what you see with these new changes. So let me just run through them real quick. This won't take too long. One of the things is we were playing around with edges on the edges of the scenes. So we put this edge out here. This isn't the final edge that we're thinking about, but let us know what you think of the concept of having a edge on your scenes there. So that's one of them. Other one, really big change, as you'll see across the top. So we have significantly changed how the interface looks for the menu bar, the toolbar that's there on the very top of it. You see we got rid of the big buttons and we've got all these small buttons. And what we're trying to do here is make it a little bit less clunky, but also make it easier for GMs so that you can get to whatever it is you want to do without having to drill through menus. And for each of these, if you hover over them, it'll say what they do. And the categories are roughly the same as what you saw before. Again, it's just you can go ahead and see the buttons right from the start. We also took out some of the buttons that were covered in other areas of Scene Grinder because it kind of didn't make sense to have it here on the scene page. So the toolbar, so that's another change that we did. Another one we did is with targeting, which we really haven't talked to you too much about, but the way targeting works is you can alt-click on a character in the list to target it, or you can click the little target circle that's above each character in the avatar list. And you can see right now I'm playing Abiana, and she's got 2 characters targeted. And so the change that we did was now whenever you select a character, and obviously for players, you'll be able to see this as well, you can see everybody that you've got targeted. If you want to remove somebody from your list, all you have to do is click on them and that'll take you off the list, and you can see it took the targeting off over here. You can also just do clear targets, and that will clear everything that you've got targeted. So this can be really nice, like if you drop the fireball down and you get 20 things targeted, next turn you can just run around and clear all the targets at once for whatever your next attack is. So I'm going to go ahead and target a couple people. So the next set of changes we did was with messaging when actions were taken. So in the past, we sent everything to the journal, but what we found was the journal, and I'll just go and open it for you, is this big panel that can take up a lot of space. And so it was cumbersome for the GM to have to keep that panel basically open during gameplay. And players also, we really didn't look at it because, again, we didn't want to cover up part of these beautiful maps with the log page. So what we're doing instead now is messaging between the GM and the player when actions occur. So let me just give you a quick example. So again, I got Abiana with 2 targets, and I'll bring up my text page, and I'll go ahead and have her swing the great sword at both of them. I just got the dice tray turned off for right now. So I'll do my attack roll, and as you can see, she rolled a 22. So then all I have to do is click submit. Now I'm logged in as a GM, so I'm getting all of the messages right now. But as a player, nothing. What would happen is your roll screen would disappear, and then as a GM, you'll get this screen that says Abiana's attacking with the great sword. You can look at the die roll, and you can see what the targets are and what their armor classes are. And if any of those were hits, you would just click yes. And when you do that, then the player is going to get this pop-up where they can roll damage. And I'll just go ahead and click roll. And you can see the damage roll, click submit. And now as the GM, you can look over here and you can see what the who is being attacked and what the damage application is, and you can go ahead and apply the damage here. Now again, this isn't finalized. Right now, none of this information is being sent to the journal. We do plan to send a summary of it to the journal, But again, the big change here is instead of everybody having to keep this big panel open to see what's going on, we're going to have that messaging that happens between the player and the GM via the pop-up messages. The next thing is a really cool one, movement. So there's a couple options up here in scene management. You can put it into free move, you put it into turn-based movement, and the big one here is grid versus no grid. So right now I've got it set to grid movement. All right, so to start the move, all you do is click the M key. That'll put you into movement mode. And as you see, what I've got now is I've got this cool little ghosted out version of my character, and you can see how far away it is for movement. And when I click on a spot, what it's going to do is it's going to center me on the grid for that spot and then show the distances that are being moved. So you can see I'm doing 15-foot move. Now, we did this in line with the 5e angle straight version for movement calculations. So I'm at 15 feet right now. If I click here, it's going to go 20 feet because it's going to go 5 feet for the first diagonal. But if I go a little bit farther, I go to right there, you can see it did the 5 foot for the first diagonal, and then it went straight from there. So anyway, so again, this is all still a little bit of a work in progress. We're playing around with it a little bit. When you get done with the moves, if you're happy with it, just click M. And at that point, you can click the walk icon to move there, or you can also click back on a node if you want to wipe out part of your movement. So if I only want to go there, I would just click on the movement node there. And again, to move, just click the movement icon. And there you go. So that is movement. Now we have not done vertical movement yet. That's still, that'll be done soon, but not quite yet. And the last thing we've got for you is themes. So if I open the character sheet now, you can see instead of that old kind of parchment style that you had before, in this case I've got a green, I forgot the name of this theme, but I think it's Starry Night theme. And so what we're doing, I'm just going to pop back over to my world settings, is now when you select one of these world themes, it's going to be changing pretty much everything that you see related to that world. So it's going to be changing all the buttons, the backgrounds of all the screens, and there's a whole bunch of different options, and I advise everybody just to go through here and try out some of the different options that we've got. Now, there's a couple of these where we haven't gotten, a couple cases where we haven't gotten everything done. Like, for example, that log screen that I showed you before has not been hooked up with theming yet, but that will be done. But you can get a good feel for where we're going with theming. And so that's theming. And I think that's it. So I hope you enjoy the update. And like I said, this is a set of work in process changes, but we really wanted to get it to all of you so you can start looking at us and giving us your feedback. That's it for this one, and I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.